So let me talk about some music for a bit now, right? Let me
Sure.
talk about some rap. Let's talk about some rap shit, right? So we have two albums to talk about, right? But before those album reviews, just wanna give quick mention to the new music video slash single from Profess, you know what I mean, representing Sando
Okay,
to the
right.
fullest. Yeah, called Fraid Wa, right? Which the video itself is inspired by another video. Well, actually, I would say
Right.
two videos, right? In a sense. Well, I should say the second one is kind of subconsciously inspired by, right? Yeah, first one is inspired by, a little video called Pep Talk, which was put out a few weeks
Right.
ago by a guy called Stunner Park. And for those who aren't in know, he was involved in a beef between Profess and Mike Wise, right?
Right.
And yeah, it's kind of obvious who won this one, right? But in particular, why I'm bringing up the Pep Talk music video is that how Stunner is represented in the video as
Right.
this guy with this brown paper bag over his head with the word Stunner Park written on it. Yeah, it's clearly a reference to how Professor Mike Wise are represented in that pep talk video, right? With these I say garbage bags, right? With these brown paper bags and the names written on it, right? Well, logos basically, right? But yeah, what surprised me though was this is actually like a single. Like this is actually the lead single for a new album that Profess is putting out.
Right.
I'm hoping that it'll come out later on this year, called True Colors, right? So, and speaking of colors, I like just the simple color scheme here.
Right.
Red
Right. Right.
and green. It fits with the kind of
Yeah, I
clearly
know you want to. I know you had to do the Netflix thing with the whole thing. Okay.
yeah, that catch me though with the Netflix intro and whatnot. I
Yeah.
need to like find out how he do that. Though. That was really clever, right?
Yeah, that's normal plugin thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I think about the
Um,
issue with these things that he did, like the high reliance on plugins I have a problem with, but whatever. He's not like you're not like a film guy anyway, so it's like whatever, it's fine.
yeah, yeah, I understand though, but yeah, I just love how straight and direct it is though. The use of green and red, the galvanized background and whatnot, and then of course this professing a bunch of people there. So like I saw Joe Black, I saw Sydney
Right.
Ledger. That was actually a surprise though. You would know her from the Batchak Man series and a few
Right.
stuff
Right.
that Ansel Harris put out with True Film Ventures. Crash was there, like Randerson was there. It's like, holy
Right.
shit,
Yeah, I
you
saw
there
that.
too? What?
Yeah, I saw everything.
Yeah, and of course Mike
So yeah,
Wise
I
is
know
there.
he announced the video thing, and he said come true for the video shooting tonight or something like that. So I was like,
Oh, okay.
as I say, I don't have time for this, but I'll show whoever has time for this.
You could have been in the video, man. You could have been in
Not
the
really.
video, bro.
I was in one of the videos. I was in one of the videos. That's enough for that.
Well, you directed one, so you could
No,
have
I
been in front
direct
of the
one.
camera,
No, I
right?
talk about that. Like, but I don't really into that anymore. I say this that
Oh, okay.
I was actually in one of the videos that I didn't direct. That was
Oh, all right, yeah.
gosh, I forget the name of it. Pocket Change and Ambition. Pocket Change and Ambition. I forget the name of the song.
All right,
I was in that video. You can look up that video and find.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, right, well, the second video that I saw, this is the one that it kind of subconsciously inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, right? In the sense that
Right.
this is basically one in just let me just say a EP's worth of diss tracks aimed towards Stunner Park, right? So
Yeah.
there was Delulu, which was the first, this was the kickoff one. This was a really hilarious collabo with Professor and Mike Wise.
Yeah.
Then you had a tribute to Stunner Park, which came right after the Pep Talk video came out, which was just Mike Wise just unleashing fire and brimstone though, just over this epic diss track though. It was so brutal, right? And then you follow that up with Bring Me to Life, which was just him on his
Right.
own, just going hard. Just this one last time, it was just like his last nail in the coffin, right? And in my mind, I was thinking that Professor's track Shay's Eulogy was the last one, though, right? But then I was surprised that we saw Fraid Wa, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
that technically is the last nail in the coffin, though this is just everybody kind of celebrating, just like, similar to Not Like Us. Yeah, we win this war. We win this war. This is we celebratory anthem, basically, right? But the surprise for me, though, compared to Not Like Us, because up to now, we still wondering if Not Like Us is gonna be on an album, right? Even though the opening to that video kind of hint that it could be, but we're not sure as yet. Yeah, Fraid Was a single is going to be off of a new album, so I'm excited for that. And I just call it out here. I will not be surprised if, like, throughout the tracks on the album, yeah, there will be like these little subliminal shots at Stunner Park, right? I don't know. I guess you'll see, right? But other than that, beef aside, though, yeah, this music video really delivered for me, though. It just
Yeah,
had the energy. Again, what I just really dig about Profess, though, is just how raw he is, though, just how blunt he is. He will just tell you as it is. He don't give a shit at all. He will just tell you right to your face how you feel about it, right? And I just like that sort of fearlessness, right? And he brings it, right? But also, yeah, he just stunting, Dread. He just like having
right.
fun with it too, just a lot of quotables, those like one that I picked up, just like a couple hours ago, though, because I just kind of watched the video just to refresh my memory. So he says, soon as I land on the spot like a lot, I buy my own thing, don't come here and squat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he just like throwing these kind of shots at his haters there. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
want to
he
say it's
is.
just at
But
one
the thing
person,
is, again,
Yeah.
because I don't follow this thing, this dude made any songs. He made like one song that was like not that good. So like that's why it's hard for me to care. Like
Yeah.
at least
And to be fair, he did put out another track though. I didn't seek it out though. And
okay, okay.
also shout out to Noboy. You could even hear throw diss track at him. Very a very horrorcore inspired kind of a diss track at
Right,
at Stunner though. So yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't know. Like in retrospect, I wish Do was in the video. Just
right.
that but I guess it didn't play out like that. I don't know. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, yeah, yeah. I was just like they seem so one sided now. Like I saw I not really like nothing coming out on the other guy's side. I don't know who this dude is or if he putting out or nobody hyping up nothing with this. So it's like, all right, this guy's just always at time. And well, it is kind of making fun of his real world job, which is hilarious on its own right.
I
Um,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is real good. Like, all right,
Yeah,
jeez.
but even if you don't know anything about the beef though, the song and video still delivers though.
Right,
Again, it's
right,
just Profess just pretty much saying, I mean, he is at the top of his game right now. Any contenders come towards him that it is just gonna be demolished. That's pretty much it, right? And I have a feeling that this is just gonna be part of what True Colors is gonna be about, right? So
right.
just thinking stylistically, if we get any more videos out of this, if there's going to be any more use of like specific colors, like primary colors or whatever it is, right? Like how this one was just like green and red. I don't know if the colors aspect will be a thing now, you know what I mean, going forward with the rollout for this album. I guess you'll see, right? But yeah, great single, really, really dope video and whatnot. Um, and yeah, I just really excited for True Colors. I just can't wait for this record to drop, right? So up next, speaking of albums now, right? So now we're going to talk about the album stuff, right? So we have the Auditorium Volume 1 from Common
Yes.
and Pete Rock, and then we have Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, right? So I was surprised, Ricardo, that you took in Common's album, right? Because I
Right.
thought, you were this. Because right, so like I tagged you on the lead single Wise Up, right? I love that single. I love the boom bap vibe of it too.
Yeah.
Of course, the MC Shan, sample on the hook. I love that. That is just so catchy, right? But I just figure, with those albums coming out on the same day, I thought you would have more lean towards the Eminem one more than anything else.
No,
But I am
no, I mean, it's a day for common, so it's not like a
all
thing,
right.
but it's like, oh yeah, but it's also Pete Rock, so it's like, all right, would like,
Yes,
and
yes.
even they had a lot, like a surprisingly good push for this. They were on Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Fallon, they had a performance there. Yeah, I saw the performance, I'm like, all right, cool, would, and yeah, they had
Yeah.
Bilal there and things like, all right, would.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't expect this album to be as good as it was. Like I knew, look, it's Pete Rock coming with some heat, but there's
Mm-hmm.
something about it, and I made a comment somewhere, on Spoutable, so yeah, I made a comment on Spoutable like that how it feel like I don't know if it's a Kendrick beef, but everything felt like a reset of going back to the well of hip
Uh,
hop. It feeling retro, not retro per se, but it feeling like a '90s thing, but feels like new material at the same time, like an alternate reality almost.
oh,
And this
mm-hmm.
album in particular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Lupe's stuff felt a little callbackish, but it was good. But
Yeah.
this I find in particular felt like, oh, this is like unreleased tracks we never hear from 20, 30 years ago, whatever it is. But it's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's new material. And there's one track in particular I think is particularly brilliant that we'll get into when we talk about it. Yeah.
So fun fact, right? Because I just took down notes while I was listening to this, right? Their first collaboration, believe it or not, was a diss track. That was Common's first diss track. That would be the bitch and you, where he took him at an Ice Cube actually, because how Ice Cube and I think the West Side Connection, that would be Macton and WC, were offended when when Common talked about when he mentioned Boys in the Hood in the track I Used to Love Her. And I'll bring up I Used to Love Her in my review of this, right? Yeah, so and I remember that, like, well, I don't remember when it came out, right? But when you learn about more about Common's music, yeah, that was like a big deal now. Like, we always think Common is such a conscious rapper, and now he's taking
Yeah.
shots at
Yeah,
like a
that's huge.
West
Yeah.
Coast MC. But
Yeah, that's huge.
but
Yeah.
out of it though, he earned Ice Cube respect out of that, right? I don't think
Right.
anybody back in '96 figure, wait, nah, Common, wait, conscious,
Right.
Common from Chi-Town, dissing Ice Cube, nah, you know what I mean? And the man do it, and it was thanks to Pete Rock. Yeah, Pete Rock did the beat for that, right? Also, fun fact, right? This is for y'all Gen Zers out there, right? Yeah, Common actually did a diss track at Drake too.
Right.
That was back in 2011. He did a song called
Right.
Sweet. This was off of the Dreamer, the Believer, which was produced by No ID, who was the one who produced the album Resurrection, which I Used to Love Her came from, right? Yeah, that was kind of primarily aimed at Drake. So we always talk about Kendrick and Drake and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, dog, even Common and all take shots at the man. So look at that, right? Anyway, so the point is that Common and Pete Rock knew each other for years. I talk about since the 90s, eh? So never in my imagination would I ever imagine that in 2024 we would have gotten like a collaborative album between the two of them, right? And yeah, I mean, no surprise. I mean, I've been a huge fan of both Pete Rock and Common, like, literally for decades, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, even though I love the lead single Wise Up, right? A part of me was like, I kind of know what to expect from the two of them. I know the type of production to expect from Pete Rock. I know the type of bars I'm gonna get from Common. So I had to kind of keep my reservations a little low. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of know what to expect, but I don't know if I could like the record because I know what to expect. This is kind of like that, right? But Common has proven, I should say, over his career, that when he just hook up with a producer, he's put out a great album, right? So whether it's No ID on Resurrection or, The Dream of the Believer, Kanye West on B, which I know is one of your top
Yeah.
10 favorite albums, and Find It Forever, which I absolutely love as well. And of course, late G Dilla, rest in peace, with like Water for Chocolate. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The man could put out a great album once he hook up with the right producer. And surprise, surprise, he did it here. It is a great album. And yes, it is easily one of Common's best records, right?
Yeah.
So for me, right, I will confess, right. So going into the record, I thought that we were gonna get like some neck snappers, right? Cause I felt like Wise Up was that. No, it was just
Yeah.
that song to get all hyped up and whatnot, right? With Gay energizing it, right? But actually, there's not that much of those type of tracks, right? You do get a few, right? The one track for me that kind of matches that energy is Stella, which Common just bodies that beat though, right? I just
Right.
love how bouncy and energetic that beat was, right? Also, that last line that Common dropped with the whole Iron Man reference, I like that. That was real good, right? But yeah, Common
Yeah.
went nuts on that shit.
Compared to when Eminem had an Iron Man line. Oh god. We were talking about that.
It was kind of good. It was kind of good news. But compared to
Yeah.
what Common do,
Right.
yeah, right. Um, but yeah, much of my surprise, the Auditorium Volume 1 is like this mid-tempo affair, right? Which is fine. I have no problem with that, right? The production is smooth, is jazzy,
Mhm.
is soulful. And for me though, it really showcases Pete Rock's ear for like these catchy melodies and samples, right? So take the track Lonesome, for example, right? Which takes I had to look it up, right? Was from this rock band, this psychedelic rock band called the Feminine Complex, right? And he uses that to build this airy downbeat instrumental, right? But the sample, sorry, well the vocal sample that they use in the chorus really sticks out with you, right? Especially with that whole "Are you lonely for me?" It just kind of sticks with you, right? But the one that really catch me though, I don't know if this is one of your favorites. I imagine it is. Fortunate though, where they
Okay.
take this like Portuguese like lyric, right? And he just sort of warped this to make it sound like the guy is saying fortunate at the end, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know how, boy, like at first when I hear it, I was like, all right, I'm not really feeling it that much though. But like the more I hear it, boy, the more like I just kind of got swept into it though. It just so atmospheric though, and there's that hook stays with you. Right? There's
Mhm.
something about that, but like you just become hypnotized by it though. But I
Yeah.
love that instrumental so much, right? Um, and throughout this record, though, you really see how Pete's production fuels Common, right? Especially with his pen game, right? As expected, I love how Common approaches each beat, right? He's passionate, he's very precise with the lyrics, very poetic
Mhm.
with the bars and whatnot, right? And for me, I just felt like he was just drawing inspiration from like this, I don't know, like this bottomless well of like creativity and spirituality and positive change, right? Like on the opening track, Dreaming, right, where he's paying tribute to a number of like black
Right.
musicians and activists, right? I love that track, by the way.
Yeah.
And tracks like We're on Our Way and A God There Is, which features Jennifer Hudson. Long
Right.
time no see, no hear. Where he expresses his, because this is always one thing about Common, right? He always has this sort of like Christian and Islamic kind of fuse, kind of spiritual beliefs, right? So
Right.
he's like he kind of believes in both though, but he kind of he kind of takes the best from both.
He, he,
That's a
yeah, no, he caters to old world like black spirituality.
yes,
In that sense now. So you just talk about like a lot of like black history stuff and
yeah,
stuff that likely somewhat ahistorical at times, but it's like not a big deal given what actual evidence might come out or not. But you'll always reference this kind of stuff in his material,
yeah,
right? And that kind of stuff. So it's just about that.
right. Yeah, you're correct, right? But for me though, the main themes that I got from this record though were the passion that both artists have, as in Common and Pete Rock, have for hip hop, how it fuels their music, and how that particular music though continues to impact and influence the culture, right? Even Pete himself gets the chance to
Right.
rap though, like he expresses that on the second single, All Kinds of Ideas. I love the beat for
Right.
that though, like the horns for that. I love though.
Yep.
And agree to disagree though, Common have one of the best verses on this whole album and this though. That opening line that Common have though, rock focus to the black Moses that light skin, adorn like when the night end a multi-hyphened. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah. Uh,
like that's just so hard. I love that. I love that, right? But in the case of Common though, I love how he takes it one step further, right? Because it's not just about the passion, right? 'Cause you always been the passion with his music, right? But I love how even with the passion, right, which is fine, there's always going to be like moments of like loss and doubt and regret, right? And it's just a matter how you deal with those, right? So like take Lonesome, for example, which I mentioned earlier, right? So this one actually surprised me because the man basically talking about how, and it's actually kind of true. Yeah, even though he's like this revered lyricist and whatnot, yeah, when it comes to him settling down, right? When it comes to him just like finding a romantic partner he could spend the rest of his life with, yeah, it's kind of hard for him, right? If you just look through his career, right? What is
right.
I think he was with Serena at that point in time.
Okay.
Well, Erica,
Right.
of course.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course.
he was with one of the Williams sisters at that point in time. Quite recently he was with Tiffany Haddish, and that didn't work out.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he just talking about how, it kind of lonely. Like, it's just kind of lonely out there, and I like that. I like that he
Right.
could express that, right? But I love how he dedicates the third verse to his daughter, Omoye, right? Yeah, who continues to give him that kind of hope, even though he's, even though the part that he's on still kind of is a lonely one at times, right? Um, for me though, my the biggest highlight on this album for me is the track "So Many People," right? Boy, so much to say about so many people, right? But I'll keep it short,
Yeah.
right? This is for me a spiritual sequel to "I Used to Love Her,"
Right.
because how on that track he's talking about hip hop, right? He's he uses the relationship he had with a woman as a metaphor for his for the growth and development of hip hop, right? How it evolved over the years. Yeah, he's talking about, well, his metaphorical relationship with three women: Destiny, Fate, and Hope, right? But I
Right.
love how in this case these three women feel more like spiritual entities. They don't really feel like women; they just feel like entities. They sort of pop up at certain moments in his life, right, and in other people's lives as well too, right? He's talking about, yeah, what we all go through, right, when we question our value in the world, when we second guess our life decisions, right, or we just lack the motivation to move forward, right? But the beauty of the song though is the production that Pete Rock delivered though. It's minimalist, but it's so absorbing though, just deeply absorbing, right? And I just love the drums, I love the eerie vocals that, Bilal, yeah, I mean he Common and Bilal, go way, way back, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, what he brought to the table was great, right? But yeah, it's just a fantastic song. I don't know, it just soothes me though. It's just such
Yeah.
a great
Uh,
song. I love, love, love that song, right? But yeah, at the end of the Auditorium Volume 1 lived up to the hype and more. But I knew going in, right? I knew, again, because I know their styles or whatnot, I knew I was going to, I knew I was going to, what to expect from them sonically, right? But I didn't expect that they would have just put out just this great body of work, dude. Just so much great tracks. The lyrics stick with you. And I like that in 2024, you still have a guy like Common, right? Who could still put out these heartfelt bars and not feel ashamed to be heartfelt, not be ashamed to feel soulful and talk about, being thankful for life and wanting to love and inspire the world and whatnot, right? I know for some people they might kind of roll their eyes and be like, that's not how the world is, man, or whatever it is. But nah, it really does feel genuine, right? It doesn't feel forced at all. It kind of just celebrates the longevity of these two artists. 'Cause remember, they were in this since the early 90s, and we still praise these two artists to this day, right? But they also show, yeah, why they continue to be relevant, right? Because they just, again, just going back to the bottomless well thing, they just have like all this inspiration, all this wealth of knowledge of just of being of black excellence and music and all that kind of stuff. Though they could just draw inspiration from and just make great songs, and that's what I got here on this record, man. So yes, of course, one of the best for the year for me. I'm gonna give this a strong 4.5 out of 5. Absolutely love this record. So yeah, I talk long enough. I kind of pretty much read out my notes, but yeah, Ricardo, take it away. Yeah. How you felt listening
I
to this and stuff.
I didn't think an album would have beaten out Samurai,
Samurai.
and
Ah,
yeah, and an album did.
nice.
Yeah, this was really excellent for me. The track that stuck out for me was Shy Don't Do It. Um,
Oh, yes.
what
Which
what I
by
thought was
well, sorry. I love how they incorporate Kanye's "All Falls Down" in the hook.
well,
That was
no, that's
really
the thing.
smart.
It's not. I don't think it's just that because I think it's almost the entire album of College Dropout, though. Like
Hmm.
he just take a collage of all of College Dropout almost. Cause here like a piece of this and a piece of that and a piece of this and like wait, that's not from another track and thing. It definitely all falls down. That is like one
Hmm.
part, but that is the most
Hmm.
big part. But I think it's the entire almost the entire album though. Like about 4 or 5 of the best tracks come
Right.
together and he just make this kind of basically a Kanye gumbo dread. Um,
Yeah.
and put it together. I was like, oh, this kind of brilliant in its own right, though. Just
I'll also throw "Home" from Graduation, which was
right,
Kanye's
yes,
tribute to Chicago as well. I'll throw that
right,
in too.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was hearing a lot of Kanye, and I'm like, oh, this rock cover. And then I checked the name of the track. Shite. Okay, so I see what's going on here. This stuck with me, but yeah, this almost the entire album I love. The track that they performed on Fallon, that was when the sun shines again. Classic, great, amazing track. Everything that this track just come together and do such a good job with the material. The opening track is great, as I said, that's Dreaming. The one that stick with me too, as I say, so many people really good. We have a couple of corny lines here or there with Common. Like it's a lot of like, oh, that is a total Kanye line. Did Kanye write this? Like a couple of those, especially the song with involving women and sex and that kind of stuff, right? But I just really like this. Didn't expect it to come together again. Production's truly soulful. It really feel like a missing album we just never get from the 90s that they just finally put out. Like you don't you don't get the sense that they did this recently in any sense. Like, oh shit, it really sounded like the past, but it's like there's solid modern productions and how it feels technically. And yeah, I kind of want this to be a trilogy. Like I really hope we get 2 more. Like this is
Oh,
amazing.
you want a trilogy? Okay.
Yeah,
I am excited as hell for a sequel, right? I
yeah,
forgot to mention too, right? I even love the outro too, right? Which,
yeah,
if you're familiar with Common's work, right, is a nice little tribute to his dad, Lonnie, right, who passed away,
right,
right? Because
yeah,
you remember with his earlier albums, right? Even on B, yeah, his dad would always come in and do like this spoken word poetry, right?
yeah.
And yeah, Common does some spoken word at the very end, short but sweet, but it hits it gets the point out, right? I love that. Like this is nice little soulful tribute to his dad. That was great. I love that. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just really, really fantastic stuff. Overall, uh, it comes together really well. It's performed quite well. I mean, look, I'm not the biggest fan of JB Fallon, but like he does have either he himself has good taste in music or whoever this BD promoter to get good taste in music cut together. Is that so? Just to get these people on set and just to get the Roots and Common and Bilal and Pete Rock all in one place. is really great stuff. So I enjoy that. I really want a tiny desk of this sometime in the future. Like, I really hope
Yes.
we get something like that here. Like, it just truly, truly well done, but a cappella something like this. But this is like really great music for me. That's what it is. It lines up for me so well.
Hmm.
Thoroughly
Hmm.
loved it. Again, I did not expect this to beat out Samurai. I really thought Samurai was going, dominate the year there. Apparently not. It still have a couple music coming out this year, like Afro's album or whatever it is. But nah, this is just fantastic.
Yeah. You want to give it a rating? Give it a 9 out of 10
Yeah,
now, gosh.
rating. I forget what I give Samurai, but it's higher than Samurai, so probably getting a 9 out of 10. Um, or probably even higher than that. Maybe a perfect score. I still have to list it enough. I didn't
Mm.
give it a walk, but that's how I know
Oh.
it's good. Cause I actually just never like listen to the album home. As I still
Oh.
had to
Okay.
give.
Okay.
I still had to give Samurai a walk now, as they say.
Hmm.
I had to walk with it to really appreciate it and while listening to. But with this, I was home. I was just normal, listen to it like normal. Like, all right, would actually it keep my attention though. Like, all right, would. So yeah, it was this on Eminem, but Eminem was just like, oh, I just want to listen to what people would have probably complained about, kind of thing with Eminem. Like, I wasn't super into it, but then I kind of see where he was going for with the concept album. I'm like, whatever. We'll get into
Yeah.
that now.